Why is it that you sometimes feel sore for days after an easy workout, while you may not feel sore at all after a hard workout? Well, today I'm going to share with you the 2 things that feed into why you may be feeling sore in some workouts, and while after others you feel on top of the world. And then I'm going to share with you when soreness may be a red flag that you need to listen to and take it easier in your training sequence. Now, throughout my athletic career, from being a soccer player to a long-distance cyclist, to being a yoga teacher, to being a high-intensity interval training enthusiast, to being an ultra runner, to being a tennis player, all these different things, I have gone through the ups and the downs of working out and feeling extremely sore and working out and feeling on top of the world. And really what I've learned is there's really 2 things that feed into if you're going to feel more sore after a workout or not. And the first one is consistency. Well, have you ever noticed that the more you work out, you not only have more power, your lungs are stronger, and you're less sore? The more often you work out, the less sore you are. So that means that if you take time off from working out, you may feel extremely sore when you get back into it, even the easiest workout. So that's why consistency is really the key. If you want to decrease how sore you are after any workout, do the workout more often. The second thing, though, is how often are you adding something new? When you add newness to your workouts, you are probably going to feel more sore. And the reality is you need both of these things when you're working out, along with the fact that all-cause mortality rates significantly decrease by 35%. You need to consistently work out to see change in your body, to get better at the sports that you're playing, and to get better functionally interacting with the world. You need consistency, but you also need newness. If you are always doing the same thing, then you're not only going to get bored. This is what happened to me after running 100-mile weeks, way too many weeks in a row, and doing 50-plus mile weeks for way too many years in a row. I got bored. You will also see that you can get overuse injuries. You can also hit plateaus where you stop getting better because your body needs newness. So you need both of these things in your workouts. So keeping these 2 things in mind, consistency and newness, how long should you feel sore? Well, there are 3 types of athletes. And no matter where you are in your workout journey, you will fit into one of these types. The first type is a beginner. And I define beginner as someone who works out 0 to 2 times per week. Well, a beginner is going to, on average, feel sore for 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days. This is why when you look at someone who works out every single day, or maybe your friends look at you and they're like, wow, like I'm always sore for what it seems to be weeks, but you are only sore for a couple days, or maybe you don't feel sore at all. Well, that's because when you're a beginner, your muscles are not yet adapted to the loading that you're putting on the body when you're running, when you're lifting, when you're playing your sports, whatever you're doing. Your muscles haven't adapted. This is why when people look at me as an ultra runner, or maybe they look at you as an ultra runner as well, and they're like, how do you do it? Well, it's because your muscles adapt over time. But when you're a beginner and you're only working out 0 to 2 times a week, or maybe you've taken time off, maybe you haven't worked out for a month or 2, and then you go back in and you're working out and you're like, God, why am I sore for so long? I'm usually not that sore. Well, it's because you took time off. Well, that's why I don't personally like to take time off. Yes, I try and take 1 day a week off, and I go through different seasons of life where I'm running more, I'm doing high intensity interval training more, I'm lifting more, I'm playing different sports more. All of that ebbs and flows, but I really keep on going because I, at the very least, want to be in the intermediate range. Or we'll call this the intermediates. Beginners, intermediates. Intermediates work out somewhere between 3 to 4 times per week. And when we're looking at How sore intermediates are, it's 1 to 2 days. This is significantly less than beginners. Significantly. So if you want to decrease how long you are sore for, let's up our 0 to 2 to 3 to 4. And then we are significantly decreasing the time that you're sore. This is because when you train consistently, you are developing adaptations in your body, and this reduces the soreness duration. So when people look at you and they're like, God, I get sore just getting off the couch. And you're like, I work out 3 to 4 days a week. I'm just not sore very much, like 2 days max. There's a reason for it. You're more adapted. And that brings me to my favorite category, advanced. For advanced, this is people who train 5+ times a week. And really, if you're intermediate, you may as well jump to advanced, because just by working out at least 1 more time per week, you're going to cut this down to 12 to 24 hours. Now I'll tell you this, you could be working out advanced 5+ times a week and then start doing something new. This is where the newness comes in. For me, I played tennis in elementary school, but I really started playing tennis consistently over the past couple of months. But I still only play tennis once a week. So think about this. If you're working out 5 days a week, but you're only doing one thing once a week, or maybe you're doing it once a month, you're throwing it in. Maybe you're only playing soccer once a month. Yeah, you're probably going to be extremely sore after that thing. For me, even with playing tennis once a week, I feel soreness for a couple of days. So even though I'm advanced, I feel soreness for 1 to 2 days after playing tennis. Typically after running, I don't feel sore at all, maybe for 12 hours, probably less, maybe 6 hours. And really it's just in my heel. And even so, when I do my plantar fasciitis exercises to alleviate that pain and get rid of my plantar fasciitis, I don't really feel it. So just because you're doing something new doesn't mean you're going to feel sore for 3 to 5 days, because you're not doing that thing 3 to 4 times a week or 5+ times a week. Really, what you need to do is look at where do you fit? If you're an intermediate, then when you try something new, then yeah, you may drop or dip close to the 3 to 5. You'll probably be closer to the 3. If you're advanced and then you try something new, then yeah, you're probably going to dip from less than 24 hours to maybe it'll take you 1 to 2 days to get over the soreness. It really depends on where you are. If you're a beginner, and you keep doing all these new things and you never get to a place where your soreness is decreasing, maybe you just need to start picking one thing. Or maybe you need to up to intermediate and just start working out 3 times a week, doing the thing 3 times a week. Just by having a consistent routine, you're going to decrease your soreness a lot. Now, sometimes your soreness is a red flag, and this is what to look out for. Sharp or stabbing pain. So instead of dull pain, you feel sharp pain, stabbing pain. This could be an injury, so you need to look out for these things. Pain that worsens with movement. Let's say you're moving a specific way. I will find that even if it's not injury, if I've overworked a muscle, we want to give it a day or two, well, depending on what level you are. If you're a beginner, you may need more time. For me, in advanced, when I have a muscle that I've overworked, I need to give it a couple of days. So this happened a couple weeks ago. I was doing a HIIT class, and then the day after, I had pain in my inner knee that shot down my leg. And it wasn't even there until I was doing squats. So when I was doing squats, I felt it. So I'm like, okay, I need to deload how much I'm doing on these squats today. I need to potentially not do as many. That's what I did. I did fewer reps, I did shorter range of motion, and I did less weight. So when pain worsens with movement, this is a signal that you need to slow down. You need to do something differently. Your body will speak to you. Sudden swelling or redness. This is very important. A couple years ago, I was playing soccer at my godfather's house. We were just messing around. I was playing with my cousins, and I accidentally ran into a rock garden. and I hit my shin really hard on the rock garden. And while I felt fine, and I didn't really have any pain, I was bleeding a little bit, but I felt fine. But I had sudden swelling. Sudden swelling means it comes out of nowhere. Now, there was something that caused it. I fell in a rock garden and I bruised the heck out of my leg, and then it ballooned. This is extremely important to evaluate. My aunt was there and she looked at it and had me do a couple of things because she's a nurse, and we figured out that it wasn't anything crazy, but I needed to ice it and elevate it for a couple of days. I needed to stay off of it. So what did I do? I stayed off of it for about 24 to 48 hours, 1 to 2 days, and then I took hikes. And then a week later, I was running. Actually, it's probably less than a week later. It was a couple of days later I was running. But the point is, you need to be aware. This could have been really bad. I could have broken something. So look out for sudden swelling and sudden redness. Sudden is the key. It comes out of nowhere, or it comes in response to something that you did. Maybe you twist your ankle. Your ankle balloons. Next is bruising. Well, in the same situation, I had bruising pretty quickly. Bruising could mean that there's something a lot worse happening than just being sore. Pain isolated in a joint. So a joint pain, and can be really sharp. Got to be careful there. Pain lasting 5+ days. So if you're in pain for more than the typical 5 days, then you may need to look at, maybe there's a deeper thing. So 5+ days. And then pain that disrupts your life, or specifically disrupts sleep and walking. This could mean that you have something out, you could have pulled something, you could have strained something, you could have broken something, you could have torn something. So you need to be very careful that when you are looking at soreness, is it soreness or is it something deeper? Now, I am not a healthcare professional, and I highly recommend that you talk to your doctor, talk to a healthcare professional. I have a disclaimer in the show notes and in the description below on YouTube. And if you want to take your health and wellness to the next level, I have my 3 pillars of healthy living guide: movement, tracking, and accountability. You can grab your free guide in the show notes or in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, or go to www.athletewithasthma.com/healthy-living-guide to grab your free copy today. I'll see you in the next episode.